Alright, so I'm going to seem really uncool right now. I want to tell you about the nicknames that I have in Japan right now, apparently. So I've told last time when I was in Japan, some of the Japanese guys, they actually remembered me. And girls too. And they started saying that I had like this like stigma or whatever. And like, oh, you're the Final Fantasy guy. You're a Disney Prince guy. Yeah, we remember you. Everyone remembers you, right? So those are the main things. Disney Prince guy or Final Fantasy guy. And even when I was actually not just like, in Shinjuku, that area, and sometimes like going down to the host clubs, like the guys were talking to me that like people had heard about me. And then, whatever. Then a lot of the girls would be like, oh, we're too scared, but we've all heard of the Disney Prince guy. Well, I'm not going to hype myself up any longer because I'm going to tell you a really bad nickname that I just heard recently, right? So I'm walking down the other foreign area, right? The foreign hooker area, right? And one of the girls, she waves me over. And she's like, come here. And she's like, we've seen you so many times. She's like, why won't you fuck us? What's wrong with you? And I was like, I don't know. Some of you guys are pretty hot, but I'm just like, I'm kind of like nervous, right? And she's like, what are you nervous for? And I'm like, I don't know. I've never had sex with an escort. Not really my kind of thing. I mean, but some of you are good looking and, I've thought about it. Like I said, that Dubai Muslim hooker. Oh my God. I would have done that, right? But, so anyway, the point is, she's like, yeah, we've seen you and we talk about you. And I'm like, oh God, you guys talk about me. And I'm like, wait, maybe I have a cool nickname like the Final Fantasy guy or the Disney Prince guy. And I'm like, what do you guys say? And they're like, oh, we make fun of you all the time. And I'm like, oh, geez. They're like, yeah. She's like, yeah, we all call you the vampire who doesn't have sex. And I'm like, oh, geez. That's not a good name. That's not a good nickname. Geez, the vampire who doesn't have sex. Well, anyway, that's a terrible nickname. But actually, the girl who called me over, I don't want to talk shit. The girl who called me over, I don't even remember her exactly because I only pay attention to the ones that kind of make me think that, man, I'm kind of tempted. But anyway, she's like, oh yeah, I remember you from last year. We all remember you. We talked about you. Vampire who doesn't have sex. Anyway, if you like the videos, like, subscribe, comment, share, support the channel if you want. I appreciate it. Thanks. The end.